installing them, they have a more universal or extended benefit, if you will. But nonetheless, as we all know, those have been very difficult discussions as well. But it's a little clearer to see that one and with respect to where the benefit is going to be. This, I think, is not clear, and I think why I would recommend that the applicant spend a little bit more time on this is really relatively new territory. So I think that the board needs to proceed very cautiously from a public policy perspective because of that. So in a sense, it could be precedent setting. It is in the coastal zone. There are viewshed, I think, concerns that while many of them, I think, have been addressed here, perhaps all of them have not been. And I'm concerned about that precedent where something with viewshed concerns could be approved, and where does that leave us when the way I read it is it's primarily for the benefit of the applicant, and that community benefit perspective, while touched upon, is not fully vetted. And so that goes to, I think, what the comments that Mr. Ward made, saying that he was both supportive of the applicant and the appellant in trying to get some of those issues resolved before we go down perhaps a precedent-setting pathway. So I wouldn't want to discourage the applicant to, bringing this back. So I wouldn't want to take an action here that would preclude some form of this coming back, but I think that a number of the issues with respect to the Paulson estate, the viewshed concerns there, I think that those are very real. And the property values issue is a very real one. I think some of the environmental issues still could receive more consideration, although I think that added piece that we received today with respect to, I think it is number 3, takes a step in that direction. But I think there are a number of issues that still need further attention, because this is a very delicate and sensitive issue, and it's something that I think we need to proceed with cautiously. So I am seconding the motion, although I think we need to be clear exactly what upholding the appeal would mean with respect to the applicant. So I would like further clarification and discussion on that point. Thank you.
Okay, who would like to try and answer that? Mr. Lynch, is that possible?
No, it's possible.
That's honest. One possibility would be that maybe the motioner or the seconder withdraw their motion or their second. This item could be continued while more research was brought forward. Some of those lines, there's concern of killing the item in its entirety. Maybe another motion could be to uphold the appeal without prejudice. There's several different options we have, allowing the applicant to massage a little bit. Just bringing these items up as discussion. What's the flavor of the board? Sir.
I would be inclined, given discomfort to suggest that we uphold the appeal without prejudice. If that is possible, upholding the appeal without prejudice.
But it really means that the applicant can come back within less than a year's time to apply for something similar, with giving some more information to you, or the other option again would be to continue if you have specific information that you think you need to make a more informed decision.
Well, I think he's heard enough from me, but given my concerns, but I don't know that we get enough information to justice back. That would be his call. So I would revise, or I would withdraw my motion and suggest that we uphold the appeal without prejudice and give you the opportunity to move the more sharp, finer proposal takes into account some concerns.
I'll second that, and would like to go to council to see if she could more clearly define what upholding the appeal without prejudice.
Well, that's exactly what staff said. The applicant can come back with a new application, modifications, addressing the concerns that the board's expressed.
And what about the time frame that was referenced? Is that, I think it's within 1 year?
You do it within, typically if you deny it, he can't come back for a year. Without prejudice means he can come back at any time.
Right, within the 1. Okay.
Supervisor Billings.
What a conundrum. We start off this day hearing about the need for green power and the high price of oil and all the things that everybody wants to preach about at $5 diesel. And it took up a lot of time this morning in public expression. Now you want to do it. But nobody wants to look at it. Everybody wants green power, but nobody wants to look at it. Nobody wants to look at a buoy out in the ocean. Nobody wants to look at a windmill. Where I come from, we have wind machines that stand 40 feet tall, but they generate wind to keep the crops from freezing. But we want to do the opposite. Not freeze crops. To me, this is a private property rights issue, and I'm not sure, no matter what information you bring back, you're going to get approval with the wind machine. But I think what I heard today didn't lean that direction. If you came back with the solar panels, you might have some luck. But I don't think you're going to get there with another wind machine. You have a lot of constraints on your property with the Coastal Commission's easement that they require on that property that doesn't allow you much room to do anything. And what I see from the neighboring parcel, and the validity to this is the visual impact. I don't see much there. I really don't. And I'm not worried about the visibility from the state park, quite frankly. And I look at this colored picture and all I see is a red circle. I don't see anything in their story pole or not in the story pole. It's not there. And if I have to worry about every time somebody comes forward with an application to do something that can be seen from government land, then that gives me an incentive to not let government take into no private land. Because this wasn't probably an issue at all when off-road timber on the property. So that makes an argument against additional parklands if that's going to dictate what happens on private property. I don't see any reason why you couldn't move forward with this. I think what you're trying to do is practice what you preach, and I applaud you for that. So I would be voting against this motion, and I would be supporting a motion to deny the appeal, because I just don't see the impacts. If it was truly a visual impact that was tough to live with by the neighbors, they'd have an argument, but I don't see that here. And that's the only thing that I see is any potential. So I've got some opposition, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. My thoughts are along the lines of somewhat similar, but what I did hear was an applicant, property owner, looking in various different ways to produce power year-round, 365 days a year. I even heard you mention a water turbine possibility, but that wasn't applicable due to the low flow through the swale or the ditch.